Welcome to Prime Space, a Prime Coaching Academy podcast with your host, Elias Scultori. So hello, everybody. I have one of these podcasts and episodes that I love because I have a guest, and I always like to share this space with someone. And today I have a very special guest, my dear friend, Debbie Crouse. Hello, Debbie.
Hello, Elias. How are you?
I am great. I am super excited that you're here. First of all, just because we're going to have a conversation here, but I am extra excited because Debbie just got her MCC and we are here celebrating. This is such a huge step and a huge accomplishment. Debbie, how are you feeling about that?
Relieved that I passed a test and a little overwhelmed. I'm still digesting it. It's only a couple of days old.
Yes, I know. And it's a beautiful accomplishment. Thank you so much. I always say this every time someone gets a level of certification, mentees, students, colleagues. I always say, thank you so much for your commitment to the profession, to the standards, to the ethical and professional standards of the profession, and being committed to the journey. I so appreciate that. Thank you. So for those of you who do not know Debbie is the founder of Dentist Enterprises. She is also, she has been married for 40 years. She has 2 adult children, a granddaughter, a daughter-in-law. The granddaughter likes to call her Gigi. She loves that. Debbie says that it's the best role ever that she always had. Debbie is a coach trainer. She is an assessor. She's a mentor coach. She loves to play pickleball, volleyball, bike ride. Debbie is an MCC, as I said. She has an MBA and also a bachelor's in pharmacy. And she has 40 years of corporate experience in leadership positions. So she brings a wide range of experiences to coaching and the coaching profession. And we are thrilled to have you here today, Debbie. Debbie, what would you like to share with our listeners today?
Well, I think what I'd like to share is one of the things I struggled a lot with when I was learning and being trained, and that is coaching the person, not coaching for a solution.
Coaching the person, not coaching the solution. What does that mean?
Yeah, that was my favorite question as I was in class and being trained on this, because I think I was slow in getting the concept. So one of the things that it means to me is that when a client comes, they have a topic. Could be good, bad, whatever. It's a topic. So they want some solution to whatever that topic is. However, we're taught in coaching that really it's self-discovery. It's the client learning more about themselves and discovering what's going on inside of them. That's where the magic of coaching comes through. And at first I did not get that.
And I'm wondering here, what was the aha moment for you? The point that really made you say, it clicked. Of course, I'm going for the person and not be so concerned about the solution.
Yeah. So intellectually, that made sense, right? Yeah, I get it, right? I got the person in front of me. That's who I'm coaching, right? What happened was I started coaching in a way that I started learning more about the individual. And I realized that that's when we got into the depth of coaching. That's when our clients really, they got their own ahas, which made me go, ooh, I get this more. We're getting into a real topic, not the surface level stuff.
That is what I always think it's fascinating about coaching and the coaching process. I so appreciate that you're bringing this topic to our conversation here, because yes, we can support other individuals in saying, okay, what I'm going to do next, what is the little step that I can take there, and we can stay in that space, and coaching does that. We can stay in that place, but when we are able to tap into the source of what is bringing the client to that particular moment, to that particular situation, then it's transformational. Then the context that the client is, it's just the backdrop for what is truly happening.
Mhm.
I love that. I love this. So um what does a coach need to keep in mind when we are striving for connecting to that source, connecting to that transformational aspect of the client?
So we're taught very early on to be curious. And I thought, oh, I'm a curious person. I like to ask questions. Easy peasy, right? The problem was the comfort level for us as people is to be curious, to learn the details, to be able to figure out the solution, to be able to figure out what the real answer is for our clients, right? But the real secret is being curious with the client for them to self-discover, not be curious about the details or me figuring out the answer. That was a tough switch when I was first learning that.
Yeah, I love the idea of curiosity, right? We say to coaches that curiosity is like the fuel of coaching. It what really motivates the whole coaching process, sustains the whole coaching process, is this level of curiosity from the client. But I so appreciate the distinction that you made here. Curiosity towards what? Are we going to be curious about the details of the situation, or are we going to be curious about the person that is in front of us? I always say, let the client take care of the details. It's their responsibility. Our focus is on the individual, empowering them so that not that I empower them, they empower themselves, but creating the space for them to feel empowered to take charge of that particular situation. Curiosity. So curiosity is number one. What else? What else it would help a coach in the moment to stay grounded in the person and not go into the fall into the trap of the story?
Hmm. Well, the other thing that was huge for me was I had to stop doing, actually kind of unlearn, which made me very successful in my career and in my life as a mother, as a friend, whatever. So I was the fixer, the expert, the helper. I knew the answer. When you become a coach, all of that goes away because as soon as I feel I know the answer or can quote unquote fix the client, I'm no longer coaching. I've moved into other roles. And I was like, oh, wait, I got to live in the unknown and not know this and rely on the client to do the work. That was scary at first.
It is hard, right? Like we are so well trained to have an answer, and we are very well rewarded throughout our whole lives to know, to have, to solve a problem. And then all of a sudden here comes coaching, and it's not the basis of coaching, and the power of coaching is not founded on or grounded on what we know. It Our expertise is elsewhere. So Debbie, so if we are not there for solution, if we are not there to fix the situation, uh, what do we bring? As what is the value that we bring to the client?
Mm. Well, the value, this is kind of coach jargon, right? Is being a thinking partner, right? That's the value. Again, when I first heard that, I was like, what does that even mean, being a thinking partner? And really, the value we bring is we know the process
Mm.
of coaching, right? And we know that as our clients get in those awkward, uncertain times, when they get uncomfortable, if they know they're safe, they're going to figure themselves out. What was their bias? What was their perception? What was getting in their way? Whatever, right? So we bring the process, the curiosity, the asking questions, the being there for them as a thinking partner. They bring all the rest pretty much.
Yeah, so we are not experts of the subject matter. We don't need to know what the topic is about. Sometimes it helps to have a little bit of context on the context on the story, but our expertise is coaching. Our expertise is the coaching framework, is how we support the client into having going through the process of thinking for themselves. Thank you for that. But Debbie, I'm curious, like with all of your corporate experience and all that you in a leadership position, applying these concepts, I would imagine that some of the coaches the clients that you had within the corporate environment knew who you were, knew who you are, and perhaps they had some expectations around your experience and knowledge. How did you how did you deal with that?
Yeah, 100%. A lot of them would come into coaching thinking I was going to tell them what to do and give them the answers. And they asked for it multiple times during our coaching sessions. One of the things that I was able to share with them is that I don't know the answer for them. The
Mm.
situation they brought to me, I know the answer for me. 100%. You bring me a situation, I'll tell you that I was in similar and this is what I did. But that's not coaching, right? Coaching is for them to figure out their situation and what's right for them. So as soon as I thought I could tell them what to do or I knew the answer for them, I, not literally or figuratively, I would like smack the back of my head, like, stop. You don't know that answer. You don't know it for them. You know it for you. And I often say to the clients, we don't want any more than one Debbie Crouse running around this world. Okay. So let's have you do what's right for you, not what was right for me.
This is a crucial point here. Let me emphasize this idea of having the discernment that whatever answer or experience or solution that comes up in our minds, it has worked for me as a coach. This works in my context. It may be applicable to the other person, but we are so quick to believe that just because it worked for me, it will work for everybody, right? We live in this, I always say, we live in this little world inside our heads, and we believe that the whole world is exactly how we think. And the awareness that what I perceive to be the right thing or what has worked for me does not necessarily help the other person is huge in coaching. And I so appreciate the way you're bringing this up, having the giving the client the opportunity to customize, giving the client the opportunity to figure out for themselves and grow in the process. That's fantastic. Yeah, thank you for that perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else happened when you were coaching these internal clients?
Yeah. So I think the other thing that was critical was because I had years of experience and was known in the company, they really sought me out for being that expert, right? But in coaching, there is no hierarchy. I am at the
Mhm.
same level as the client. So if they look to me as the expert, as the knower of all, as the person that was going to solve their issue, then we really weren't coaching because we entered a dynamic where there wasn't equal thinking partnership, if you will. So I had to make sure that they knew that I didn't have all the answers, that we were equal. It was a partnership. So I brought in a lot of vulnerability. I would bring in issues I had, I would bring in issues where I completely messed up as a leader in whatever situation that was, because I wanted to make sure they didn't put me on a pedestal.
The aspect of humility, how important it is, really putting ourselves at the same level. Yesterday, I was working with a mentee, and one of the things that we talked about was the idea: if coaching has to be a partnership. If we place ourselves above, or if we place ourselves below the client in this dynamic, it doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. Yeah, thank you for that, Debbie. What are last words here of insights that you want to leave our listeners with?
I think the last words I have is making these transitions and thinking differently as a coach and the approach for the client at times can be scary. And sometimes you can worry that you're going to do it wrong or fail. I would say have a leap of faith. Know that you can make those changes that are going to make a huge, significant difference with your client, and just go for it. Just try and be in that space where you don't know, where you are uncomfortable, where you are just a thinking partner, and then play. Have some fun being a coach. It's probably the best thing that we could ever offer to other people. And I love being a coach.
I can see your passion there in coaching. We and here are two of us, full of love for this profession and what you're saying, Debbie. Thank you so much for bringing these topics here and for sharing your experience with us. I so appreciate, like, the last part that you said there, the courage also that we need to have, as far as really putting ourselves in that space of not knowing. It's courageous. In fact, this is one of the tenets that we have in the Prime Coaching Academy training. Coaching is a humbling and courageous act. That is so crucial. And I appreciate our conversation today, because oftentimes we get so caught up into the doing of coaching. There are these core concepts and mindset of coaching that is foundational for everything that we do in coaching. And I appreciate that we had the opportunity to talk about this. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to send these episodes to other people and make some referrals and recommendations for us. We appreciate that. Debbie is going to be back here, and we're going to have more conversations with Debbie. And Debbie, thank you so much. Everyone, I will see you next time.